Hey, it's Jackie. My podcast, The Natural Healing Reel, features guests from all over the world. They're sharing their stories of natural healing modalities. My intention on the show is to aid people with alternative ways in healing, physically, mentally, and emotionally. This podcast recognizes the essential role that mainstream medicine plays in our daily lives, and in no way should this be taken as medical advice. Please seek the advice of a competent medical professional for your care as you see fit, and most importantly, take care. Today, my guest is Mary Armendarez. And she is going to have an amazing conversation today with us and explaining all about clearing old energy, balancing the male and female, the feminine, the divine feminine and the masculine, bringing that into balance. And she has just shared, she's been on a big stage sharing and talking with thousands of people and energies, and I'm going to just introduce you to her. Mary, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Great. Thank you, Jackie. I'm so excited to be on your podcast and have this wonderful conversation today. I think we were brought together to get some good word out there to the people to help them.
I know. I love it. I love it. Tell me what just to start before we get going into your past, what was the place where you were speaking on the weekend? What did you call that?
Oh, it's Conscious Life Expo. It's a huge place where people that are waking up and they're looking for tools to move on their ascension path. So it's a wonderful place that you can come and see like the new healers that are out there and how you can tap into your own divine essence. And they just have a lot of beautiful workshops, and it was just really exciting. It was really great to connect and bring in the angels that work with me and do some really great healing on people. And that's my passion. And I just think everybody needs a taste of the angels, and that you have it inside yourself to change your reality if you choose to, right? Because we have a choice. So you have to mentally say, I choose, I'm willing. Those are the two key words that you need to be able to say.
Yes, I learned that you need to ask. You need to ask daily for the help, for guidance. And when you ask, it is given. And it's very, very powerful, especially if you've never really experienced or walked down that road, which I hadn't really, in understanding the questions we ask instead of why is this happening to me? Wrong question. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what the angels
Oh, you froze. There we go. Are you back?
I'm reminding everybody that we have you. Yeah. Am I here? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the guides and angels want to remind you that we have free will. And they cannot help you unless you ask. So they truly do want you to ask on the daily, on the hour. And you can ask for the simplest things that you think are silly, like let me have a safe drive to work today, or keep an eye on my mom and dad today, or whatever. But you have to start learning how to ask.
Yeah. And it's really important. It's really powerful when you do. And that's how I felt that I did learn to build that relationship, right? Mm-hmm. With the unseen or just that connection. And it just is so deep once you start to do that. And then you ask and you get the results. It's so exciting. It's so fun, right?
It is exciting and it's fun. And what's really fun is when you ask for a sign.
Yes.
So when you start asking for a sign, for me personally, I started asking for signs, and I'm not kidding you, Jacqueline. There would be piles of dimes down by my feet, or I'd wake up with dimes by my bed.
Yeah.
And they were like, finally, you're waking up. Hello, we're here. We've been waiting. And feathers. I've got so many feathers that I have found on my walks, or they'll just start falling down when you're in the car and your drive, and you're just like, wow.
I have a great story about feathers. Yes. It is really incredible. Let's go back to Where did this all begin for you? How did you like start tapping into finding how to balance and find self-love and
Okay. Well, when I was a young girl, I'm from a family of 10 and I'm the ninth. And then I have a younger brother. And we lived in a home that was over 100 years old home, right? And I used to see the walls bleed. I had a little guide that would come and sit on my bed, and he'd always make me feel comfortable, safe, and secure because there was so much dark energy in the home. And I was the weirdo kid because I'd always say, like, don't you see that? Or, can't you feel that? And now that I've grown up now where I am, I know that that definitely was one of my guides, because we do switch guides as we evolve. And I found out that there was a murder in my home. So I was seeing the blood of the murder. I was seeing the ghosts that would stay, that didn't pass on with their soul. So that happened. And then I went to all Catholic schools, right? And I never felt loved. We'd go to church. I never felt love. And I remember crying, oh my gosh, I don't feel any love. I just want to be loved. So I'm in school, high school, and I didn't keep my skirt down. I had a baby.
Typical Catholic girl.
Yes. So I had a baby, and my dad made me get married to the guy. And I'm like, what's the deal? We were just having fun. Now I'm pregnant. That didn't work. That marriage didn't work out. And I ended up marrying a man that was 15 years older than me. And going through that marriage, I lost my self-worth, my self-confidence. I was always pleasing others. I was drained physically, mentally, spiritually. There was nothing left of me to give to my children or myself. And I finally said, no more. I don't need to live like this anymore. And my daughter at the time, just like 10 years ago, she gave me a book, and it was all about angels. So I started reading about the angels, and I started meditating. And then I got a strong connection with the 12 archangels from the central sun. And I learned that I didn't need to live in fear anymore. I learned that I didn't need to walk around with this cross on my shoulder going, oh yeah, I got to give my power away to everybody else, right? So I started using these tools that I was learning, and I took these tools and put them in my kits. These kits, Nordstrom called me and said, we want these kits in our store. I said,
what's your kits?
I don't know the camera. So this is like transformation and forgiveness. And so I have divine child self-care for the caregiver. All these tools that are in these kits helped me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm on the right path here. So that is basically how I stepped into my own power, my own self-confidence. Know that there is a team of guides and angels in heaven that will take care of you. And now I help others. So it's just awesome.
So did you have a relationship with the angels, like through a church when you went to, like, growing up as a Catholic? Did you have any relationship with the divine, or like you just that didn't happen there for you?
That didn't happen at all, because Catholic Church, they never talked about the angels. It was a program. You read this, you read that, and then the priest stood up and spoke, and there was no love. I never felt love. Like, my parents are going to kill me if they ever watch this, because I never felt loved at all in the Catholic Church. There was no spirituality. I believe that there's no spirituality whatsoever in any, some religions, absolutely. I'm not going to bag on religions. That's people's beliefs, but there's no like real connection to the heart, real connection of self-love. And that's the key.
Well, and if that was being taught, which it's obviously not, I didn't grow up going to church at all. I did have my experiences, but kind of similar. Didn't feel like there was rules, and lots of judgment about things, which I was very surprised about. Lots of judgment about other religions, other, if you were homosexual, that you weren't really invited and that kind of stuff. It was kind of a smaller, I was shocked by that. And very disappointed because I didn't understand that that's what that was about. I did go as a child to the church and it felt very scary to me. It didn't feel warm and comfortable, like you're saying. It was like, you have to be quiet and there's this dude, that someone's up at the front, and it was very formal and very, not warm and friendly for sure.
No, it's not. And you're scared. I remember being scared to die. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to sit in purgatory because I did something wrong. I mean, it's very brutal.
Yeah.
And you have to give your power away to God. So God will say, oh, you are forgiven for your sins. That is not so at all. I've learned that you have to forgive yourself because it's your guilt, your shame that you are projecting to yourself, period.
Which is taught in the churches, right? Like I was we had a family funeral, and we went to the pastor's house after and was having a conversation, and we were, and then, well, no, you are whatever it is, like, you're no good type thing, right? You're guilty.
Right.
And I was like, I don't believe that, that right there. So then if we're an extension of the divine, which we are, we're all energy, and it's all, and that's what I understand and learn, then how can we be bad and, shamed? Because that's what we're doing. So all day long, in these 50 to 80,000 thoughts we're having a day, we're trashing ourselves.
We trash ourselves bad.
Failed, should have known better, should have done better. Well, you know what? And then we're thinking everybody's judging us. Meanwhile, they're judging themselves. Like, it's just a big mess is what I've learned. And it's just not myself, which I think we're all believing, right? We're believing that everybody else has got it going on, and their judgment, then you feel it. And then all of a sudden you're judging yourself, like, what's wrong with me? And it's just all toxic.
It is toxic, and it's time to step out of that. So I teach people how to do a brain switch, because this is what happens. You've got your divine male and your divine masculine. And when they're working, they're at the highest vibration. That's when you are centered, right? So then we have what I like to call the old male and the old female. Now, that when you're working in the old female and the old male, you're working at a low vibration. Okay. And that is when you are completely out of balance. So you're either in the future. That's the old male. How am I going to control the future? How am I going to control the situation? And then you're judging, right? So you can't sleep because you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to control this? How am I going to manipulate that? And you're leaking your energy, period. So when you are obsessing, you're leaking your energy. Then we go to the old female, and the old female comes in and goes, blame, shame, guilty, unworthy. Oh my gosh, nothing ever works out. Victim consciousness. That is so you're leaking. Every time you think those thoughts, you're leaking that energy. You're leaking. And so energy does not die. Energy does not die. It is out there in the cosmos. The great thing is that you can call your energy back to you.
I just learned that, and it's all about awareness. Like, just have, like what you're saying, just bringing this awareness to having people understand, or just to hear this for maybe the first time, right?
Yep.
Because we don't know this, we're not taught this. We need to be taught this, and so thank you for standing up and leading and sharing, because there's what I have learned through my journey of I've known this also my whole life. So the spirits as a child, very similar to yourself. And just, if you share that, you're kind of like judged and, oh, sure, right. It's not comfortable. And so you don't want to stand up because you're not the norm. You're not fitting in. And other people, if they have had that experience, they're not saying anything because they're in the box with everybody else. And it's we need to get out of this box. It's actually the circle of life, and yeah, the box needs to go.
So there's a simple tool that I can teach you right now how to call your energy back to you. So so what you do is and I go all the way back to when I was a child, when I was aware that I was leaking my energy. When you were scared to tell your parents something, when you were scared to talk in front of the teacher, you're leaking your energy, right? So this is what you do. I call my mental energy back to me. Now you got to call it back, purified and restored, because we don't want it to go back into us the way we let it go out, right? We probably want to let it go out with anxiety, fear, stress. I call my mental energy back to me, purified and restored. I call my emotional energy back to me, purified and restored. I call my physical energy back to me, purified and restored. And we've slept with people we didn't want to sleep with. I call my sexual energy back to me, purified and restored. Now, I'm going to teach you another trick. Violet, the color violet, is your crown chakra. That energy is the energy of transformation and forgiveness. If there's one thing I can tell your listeners today, the energy of the crown chakra, the angels are here. They just arrived. Thank you, angels. The energy of transformation and forgiveness is the key thing for your ascension to move out of lack, move out of fear. You go in the violet fire. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to ramp it up. You stand underneath the violet fire waterfall and you go, I call my mental energy from wherever it is in the cosmos. I call it back, and it's coming through the violet fire back to you. So it's being transformed, forgiven, done. Isn't that amazing?
Beautiful.
And you can do that with all your bodies, sexual, mental, physical, emotional, and watch how your light is going to start growing, right? So it's beautiful. I think of it like we're a piece of Swiss cheese and we've got all these holes missing. And so the more you learn how to call your energy back to you, you're going to start filling up with that beautiful, pure, white, golden light. And that's where we need to be.
Well, and I love this information. Thank you. I love that purified and restored. I'm going to add that into my morning routine, or, good. The re-shielding, right? Shielding our energy, right? But I think as well for myself, I've been more focused on return to center, because I'm feeling so, all of a sudden I'll just be like, whoa, and I don't feel good. I got a headache and I feel nauseous, and like it'll just come over me so quickly, and then it's like, oh, ground.
Yeah. No, and you know what a great tool is that?
I'm not asking for it back. So I mean, I'm visualizing, but I think that's powerful.
It's very powerful and it works. And I'm telling you, now that you're aware of it and your listeners are aware of it, now go back to those times when you got in a nasty fight with your husband. Go back to those times when somebody really hurt you and you obsessed on it, because you're transforming it and you're breaking the karma. So every time you go through situations, there's cause and effect, baby. Bottom line, call your energy back, forgive it. I forgive. Even if it's unforgivable, I forgive. But you need to go on that violet fire river. You need to go on that violet fire waterfall. And I forgive. Even what's unforgivable, I forgive. It's done. It's done. And so it's amazing that with the power, with this violet fire energy can do for us, truly transform us. And what you were just talking about, balance, this is what you say. I am one with my divinity and one with my humanity. I am one with my divinity and one with my humanity. Bring me back into balance, because that's where you want to be. You want your divinity to be with your humanity, because what is your divinity? Your divinity is your higher self, right? So you want that energy of your higher self, one with your humanity. Boom, done. You're in balance.
Well, and I think I love that. And then that's new for me, and I love that. I do similar stuff, but but it's been different. So I love this information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The balancing, the whole divine feminine that's rising, that is in its last stages of, the women we're standing up now, right? And the men are able to balance not just the masculine, they're able to come into their divine feminine as well. And is there, is that how you do that? Is that how people are aware and can understand and see that, is just by kind of just starting to ask? Or like people who aren't aware or doing the work and they're listening to this, they're like, okay, so I'm going to balance myself. How? Like, okay, what would be a ABC, like the 1, 2, 3 on that?
Okay, so let's talk about the divine feminine, the divine masculine. God, Mother, Father, God is feminine and masculine energy. Every single human, I don't care if you're female, male, trans, whatever, you all have feminine and masculine energy, okay? Now, the masculine energy, thousands of years ago, took over the feminine energy, right? We have to get out of that again, because the masculine energy is mental. Remember that. That's mental. That's your ego. That's your mental mind. That's the action. That's the judging. That's the controlling, okay? But we're all using our masculine mind at a lower vibration. We're not using it where we're supposed to. Where we're supposed to with the masculine, the highest vibration of the masculine is the action, is actually the intuition. It's actually using the feminine, and the masculine comes through, gets the action and brings the words into your intuition. So your feminine you can hear it. See, so it's very important to tap into the feminine, who we are, the feminine, the creative, the nurturing, the emotional safety and security is our feminine. And that's where we need to be so that the masculine can work properly and not in this control, ego mind. So how do we do that? How do we keep ourselves in the divine feminine at its highest vibration so we can have those synchronicities, so we can have those miracles come in? Because I'm going to tell you this, when you ask for these miracles and all these things to come in, they're not going to come in unless you're in the present point in time. You have to be present. You can't have your masculine in the future, and you can't have that old male, that old female in the past saying, oh my gosh, I know this is going to come back up again. Why did I do this? Da, 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 da. Repeat. So what you do is you do a brain switch. I choose to be in my divine feminine brain. I choose to operate in my right brain. I choose the divine feminine to receive in the information, the clarity, the love, the strength that I need. And when you start catching yourself, because now your listeners are going to know, because I'm making it aware, when you start going down that garden path on control, it's not going to work out. It might work out, but you need to come back. Caught myself. I surrender. I surrender to my divine feminine. I choose to be in my right brain. You're switching your brain. And then once you're there, you're safe and secure. You feel loved. You're operating at a higher vibration. Now the divine feminine can come in and bring in the action. And now you can hear your intuition. See? So the divine feminine is the most important. Most important. What does the divine feminine give us? Safety and security. When we're not safe and secure, female, male, if we're not safe and secure, nothing works out in our life. When you're off your wobble, nothing works out. You're miserable. And you think the miracles are going to come in? They're not. So how do we stay grounded? Divine Mother of the great universe, thank you for receiving into my life daily the abundance, the freedom. whatever you want, above and beyond my expectations. Wow. Look how powerful that is. Mm. And you are grounded, right? It's awesome.
I love that you're saying the right brain, left brain, because I just learned something the other day and I tried it and it worked really well in the fact that the left brain is the male brain and it's the one that's full and rolling, which is interesting. And because I would think that would be the feminine one. It's actually not. And then the right brain, if you close your eyes and just see yourself, the right brain's empty. Mm-hmm. And so by closing my eyes and just seeing and watching that, and then just focusing on the right brain being at peace and calm, all of a sudden this stuff, I could imagine that the left brain stuff was just kind of flowing over and coming into, not overwhelm and overload and it kind of was started. And so I thought that was a really great awareness. First of all, that the right brain is feminine and that is our creativity and our, we need to have this in balance so we can create. That's what we're here for.
That's right. Exactly why we're here.
We're not using it. So this balancing and understanding the importance of it, I think, is really a key, right? For us to get anywhere. And if we're asking out of fear, we're going to get fear, right? That's the law of attraction. That's what you're saying with that, right?
Yeah. So the bottom line is you've got to watch every feeling, every thought that comes in your mind. And then when you do, because we all slip up, once we do that, call your energy back, call it back. I forgive it. I call it back. And then it's done because you're using your own intention, right? Yes. It's all about you using your intention to bring that energy back to clear. And this is a great exercise as well. What you do, we could do a quick visualization really quick to learn how to clear
Let's do it, because visualization is so important and powerful right now, isn't it? If we can see it, we can have it. So let's do it.
Okay, so this is how you bring in a clear, Jacqueline, you can make the choice. I can either teach you guys how to put your bodies in phase. So you put your body in phase, or I can show you how to have a clear mind. Which one you want?
We want both of it. What are you talking
about? Okay. They're awesome. They're awesome. So I'm going to show you how to put your bodies in phase. This is very powerful. And I suggest every person tries to do this in the morning before you get up. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a nice deep breath in. Now, if you can't see, that's okay, because it's your intention. And that's all that matters is your intention, feeling, sensing, and seeing if you can. So here we go. Inhale and exhale. Before you is a beautiful sapphire blue body. Beautiful blue body. Just look at this beautiful blue body. This is the masculine body, your masculine body. We're going to call it the mental body. Sapphire blue body. Next to this sapphire blue body is a ruby red body. This is your feminine body. Ruby red body. Gorgeous ruby red energy just flowing through this body. And then I want you to bring your attention to this coral body. Beautiful coral, the color of the sunset, that orange, beautiful color of the sunset. The energy is just moving through this body. This is your physical body. Beautiful. Next to the coral body is a green body. Beautiful green energy is flowing through this body. And this is your spiritual body. You've got all four bodies in front of you. I want you to go back to your mental body, the sapphire blue body. And the sapphire blue body is going to walk right into the ruby red body. And the colors are mixing together. So sapphire blue and ruby red are mixing together. and they are turning violet. Whatever shade of violet you can see, sense, or know. And I want you to say, my mental body is one with my emotional body. My mental body is one with my emotional body. And this body is violet. And it is growing taller and taller and taller. Beautiful. Now I want you to go to the coral body. And the coral body is going to step right into the green body. And those colors are mixing together. And I want you to say, my spiritual body is one with my physical body. My spiritual body is one with my mental body. And this is turning bright, bright white. And this body is growing taller and taller and taller. Now the violet body is going to step right into the white body. And they're merging together, the white and the violet. And they are turning beautiful rainbow colors. And this body is growing so tall, you're as tall as the tallest tree you've ever seen. You're just stretching. And you're growing wider. And I want you to say, my 4 bodies are all in phase. My bodies are now in phase. And you are connected to Mother Earth. You are reaching all the way up into Mother, Father, God's beautiful, loving energy. Golden light is just pouring down you. I am one with oneness. Oneness is one with me. I am one with oneness, and oneness is one with me. And I am filled with undiluted love. I am. And when you're ready, you just come back.
Nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Isn't that fun?
Beautiful. And I think that if anybody did do that with us, that you feel a total shift in your energy. So if they didn't, rewind, go back and do it, because it just takes that moment and then you're able to find what you're looking for.
Yeah. Because what happens is our bodies get out of whack, and then you're not in the present moment. So you're not operating at your highest vibration.
And I think that that's a little easier these days to get out of energetic balance, as the energies and the fear of the COVID and all of these things have ramped up so much in our society.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a great way to start your day. It's an awesome way to start your day, or end your day, or do it whenever you need to.
I did some of the Joe Dispenza work, and I love when he talks about that he gets up at 4 a.m. and does his meditation, and he gives himself 2 hours. Now, it doesn't always take him 2 hours, but just in case, he says, just in case I can't get over myself, right? Because otherwise I'm chasing myself all day. And that's so true. But if you ground and you just take that little time before you start, it's such a difference. It's a night and day experience in your day. Right? It
really is. It really sets you up for a better day. Mm-hmm. It truly does. Especially because your mind just takes control, like you said. I mean, you can't get out of your way, and you're waiting and meditation. You're like, okay, just get up and walk around, do something to get your head out of that. I know it gets tough.
And I think was Abraham Hicks says, if it's really bad, just go to sleep. That's all you can do. If you've already gone down the rabbit hole, just go to sleep and get up and try again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, so what else are we going to talk about? We're talking about, let's talk about the intuition and how did you really, like, there's the 4 clairs of intuition as well, right? Like the audience and the clairsentience and all of these things that we're not aware of unless you're in the field of wanting to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
the intuition, is that the divine kind of speaking through to us? That's because it's softer than the loud voice that's chattering, right?
Right. So, yeah. So with your intuition, there again is the divine feminine. If you're not in the balance, you're not going to hear anything. And feeling is the number one thing that you want, because seeing, you could see all sorts of things and not know if that's really real, what's coming in. And your intuition, you want to be. So why we're here is we want to remember that fear is an illusion, and that we're here to learn love trumpets everything, right? So we got to get out of our way with the fear. And to bring in your intuition, you want to be connected to your higher self, right? What is your higher self? Who is your higher self? What does all this mean? Your higher self stays in heaven. Your higher self is in heaven, and there's a tiny little drop that comes down when your mom and dad made you, when you're these two cells that unite, your soul is in there, right? So it's a tiny little drop. So your higher self is massive. And your higher self, like we talked about early, creates. So there's multiple Jacquelines, there's multiple Marys out there. Mm-hmm. So we have to remember that's why we're here, to remember that fear is an illusion. This is a school right here. Fear is an illusion and love trumpets all. So we need to remember that we need to tap into our higher self, so we can be in that line, that divine line, so we can listen to our intuition, and we can have that free flowing, oh yeah, now I know, yes, this doesn't feel like fear. This doesn't feel like I'm trying to control it. It's just coming in a beautiful way. And you can feel that. You know, when you try to do something and it's like, not for the best interest for you, because it doesn't work out, or you've spent too much money on it, or whatever. But when you're in your intuition flow with your divine feminine and divine masculine and your divine child is the key to everything here. Your divine child is where your heart is. And your intuition comes through as well when your heart is open. See, that's what we really need to work on, is opening our heart. And what do we need to work on opening our heart? Self-love. Yeah, self-love, whatever. No, self-love. What does that mean? Not just your physical, your inside, self-love, letting go of the past, healing yourself. Because we can't listen to our intuition and all these great things, these tools that can come in and help us in our life daily, unless we start clearing out that subconscious down in the basement, way down there, that we just keep putting layer and layer and layer. And that's one of the things I do with my clients is we go into the library of beliefs and we start clearing out these lies that we believe about ourselves. These lies that we think we're unworthy to receive. These lies that, if I do this is going to happen to me. There's deep things. Because you ever wonder why things don't happen to us? Like we always want this, and that. It's because our subconscious is saying, no, you think you're unworthy. So you got to go in there and clean that up. So it's interesting.
That, and it's work. But it's a must, and it's kind of disappointing. I was quite depressed when I actually started to listen and catch the stories that we're running, because we are unconscious most of the time. They say 95% of our subconscious is unconscious, right? And then 5% are conscious. And so if we're unconscious most of the time when we're driving and it was like, oh, how did I get here? Or someone's talking to you and you're like, what'd you say? That's what we're talking about, right? And so all of those stories and thoughts they were perceptions of a little girl, or for me, going in and cleaning up, living in fear as a child and seeing all the, I was scared to death my whole life, right? And so I've actually brought that kind of stuff forward, and it shows up in different situations, which I don't know that we are aware that that's happening, even if we are on this journey of unfolding and learning the work. We're only conscious that small amount of time. I believe that's changing. They're saying that we're waking up right now, which is very, very cool.
Yes. So you're absolutely correct. So great advice I can give you is when those thoughts start coming up, like, oh my gosh, I remember how unworthy I feel, or why is this coming up right now? It's coming up because your subconscious saying, hey, pay attention. It's time to clear it. Right.
It's not time to be more, which is why we don't want to look at it. Right. Because then it's my fault. Right. So that's why that whole victim society, we're plagued with the victim. That's all we know. Right. And then when we look at it, it's like, well, how can you say this is not, this is happening to me? Right. But until we start looking at, not looking at it, which I had a hard time, when you're in the thick and you've created so much intensity with those energies of not clearing and not understanding how to clear or how far back you have to clear. This is why we need a coach. This is why we need somebody, because we can't see ourselves. We just can't. We think everybody else is at fault. Everybody's doing it to me. And yeah, maybe they are, whatever. But the whole thing is you can't get out of that unless you take charge, like you're saying. And that's a difficult thing. I found it very challenging because we are so into, it's not my fault.
Oh, right? I know. We like to blame.
Right. Yeah. We're blaming ourselves for everything. And so we're just, we're doing this and none of it's such a waste of our lives. So
it's a waste of our lives, and we're leaking our energy, bottom line.
And making us sick.
Yeah, that's why people get sick. And that is a very good point, Jacqueline, because when we don't clear these things, that's when the cancer comes. That's when the lung disease comes, because we're holding that down, that subconscious down. And when you are sick, go to that spot and love that spot. Mm-hmm. I had a neck ache the other day, and I went into the neck ache and I said, tell me what am I missing? What am I not hearing? Because your body, the feeling of your body, your sickness of the body is saying, hello, pay attention. You're not paying attention. You're letting something eat at you. You're not forgiving it. You're not letting it go. Go and love that place and put violet fire in it. Violet fire. And go, I forgive whatever story is in this pain. I forgive it. And watch what happens.
And so this whole loving ourselves thing, I don't think that we know how. So is it just as simple as starting to do these things, like just starting to pay attention and to ask and to does that then start you on the path to understanding how to love ourselves? Because I really don't think that many of us know, like even the people that are in the church, right? They're looking outside.
That's right.
Themselves. And, they got to go back on Sunday to get that again. Right.
You got to tune into yourself. Yeah. So the greatest thing is that your inner child, so you have this inner child, little Jacqueline, little Mary. And I like to go in and say, Mary, what are you feeling today? What do you need? And she's making me cry right now. I just need a hug. And you go hug that little inner child. I'm telling you, you're feeling so good. Some days she doesn't even want to talk because she's so upset. What are you scared about? What do you need? I need to be filled with Divine Mother's love. And she gives me a cup, a golden cup with ruby color in it, and you drink it. And it's making you feel safe and secure. Another great tip. My girlfriend gave this to me. This is the greatest tip ever. I set my phone for every hour. So I'll set it from 8:00 a.m. until 7 p.m. So goes off every hour. And this is what you do. I'm creating more self-love within me. And so it makes you stop and you're like, you can do whatever you want. I'm creating a stronger bond with my guides. Because now they're going, oh, she's taking this seriously. She's stopping every hour for a minute. Do it for 1 minute. And then just make sure you do it for the next day and watch how your reality changes. Or you can say, Divine Mother, Father God, thank you for filling me up with unconditional love. Thank you for letting that love pour in so I can really feel it. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking about you saying that, and I'm thinking about, the brain heart coherence, the heart math.
Yeah.
And so I was, kind of on that journey of really practicing that daily. But I believe that sometimes our thoughts are still rolling. And so what a great thing to do is to breathe into the heart, right? Mm-hmm. And that connects you to that great place where magical healing starts, apparently. But to say something like that, to have that affirmation in while you're, opening your heart space, right? Like breathing in and opening and having, that's powerful, I think. Wow. Which obviously you do.
So this is a good visualization, excuse me. Yeah. Is you know how a drop of water drops into let's say a lake, and it ripples out, right? And it has to come back. So it's just like with our thoughts, whatever we say, think, or do, it's going to come back to us no matter what, because you're dropping that thought in there and it's going out. Well, what if we changed and we dropped in, I love myself unconditionally, right? So now more love's going to come back to us. It's like letting the love in. You're bringing the love out, and you're bringing it. So I always think of that as my heart. I expand my heart to love. And then the love's just going to keep going in and in, because our heart is infinite, right? That space, that void is infinite. So when you just start filling that up more and more and more, my God, you are in your beautiful divine essence, Jacqueline, Mary, pure love for you.
Yeah. You know what? And, I didn't realize that I wasn't loving myself either, but with all that negative chatter that I was unaware of, and what I should have done and could have done and would have done or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It's really that, like, it's really what you're saying. I mean, we really need these tools, and we need to implement them daily, and we need to have somebody who, when we're falling sideways or going down the track, and you can just pick up and say, hey, and for somebody to have a coach like yourself, right, to be able to just connect in on a text and someone just focus in on you opening your heart for a minute and I love that. I love that. When do you have a coach yourself?
I do have a coach myself. And
how long have you had a coach for? Because I think that this is something that a lot of people wouldn't give themselves.
I've had a coach for 7 years. Yes. And everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a coach, because you're going to learn something different. You're going to learn more, and they're going to learn from you. That's the beauty of oneness, right? We're all here to help each other, lift up, right? Like, I'm learning from you today. You're learning from me today. That's why we're here, to help each other. And people are all about me, my, compare, judge. No.
That's what our society has built, right? Mm-hmm. This work. And I just love it. Every day I just notice it more and more. It's not, let me stand on top of you so I can get up higher. It's let me lift you and share you. And just that the gift is there, right? You're gifted, not because you're looking at, but it's like everybody's lifting each other in this new paradigm. And it's such a breath of fresh air. And you get to know that we're all on this journey learning, and some of us know a lot more than others, and that's okay. Whereas a lot of time in society, people don't want to say they don't know. Everybody knows everything, right? Right.
We're never too old to learn new things. That's why we're here. Is to create and learn new things and get creative ideas. And the greatest thing that I was going to tell, how to get your mind in the present point in time, is what you do is you step into the violet fire river, and then you step under aqua. Aqua is the frequency and the color of Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is air. Archangel Gabriel is communication. So you stand underneath, and your whole head is aqua. Watch what happens. You will have a clear mind. That's how exactly how you should go into a meditation. Aqua, period. Just what I like to do is I like to teach people. I show people images, colors that the angels will help pick out. And then I'll have them look at that, because then they can really get that in their brain. And then you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because when you try to go into meditation, you're in the past or you're in the future, period. And you're not in the present. But the aqua is the color of communication, the color of Archangel Gabriel. So you'll learn from me a lot of different techniques like that using the angels, and the angels are powerful.
Oh, yes, they are. And I didn't know about the aqua, so thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So how do you get connected with you? Do you do one-on-one? I know you're speaking to large groups, which I just love. I think that's just so exciting. Good for you.
Yeah, I love that so much. So I have my YouTube channel, and there's a lot of great information there, a lot of great meditations. I just did the 22 archetypes in the tarot card, and I show you how to jump into the card and do a lesson and a meditation. And they're quick. They're 5 minutes and less.
So I've just come across tarot cards in this last couple of years, just came through on a YouTube thing, and I watch it, and it's like, okay, that's ridiculously accurate, and details of like ridiculous details, right? And you say tarot to people and there's a negative.
Right.
And so your thoughts on tarot.
So I use the Weight Tarot deck. I just have some with me right now, and I use the Weight Tarot deck. Why do I use a Weight Tarot deck? Because the 12 Archangels use it to teach. It's only for a teaching lesson. I don't do tarot readings, but like I just picked up this one. This is the Divine Child. This is the Divine Child on a white horse. I show you how to get on that horse and ride that horse. It's very powerful. You become free. So there's different. So I only use it for that, for tools to open your third eye and your intuition. That's the only reason why I use it, and it works, and it's powerful.
Okay.
But yeah, other people use it because that's how they're able to connect to their guides, their angels, their intuition to bring messages out to other people. So that's a great tool for some people. I also, what I'm really excited about, I co-create personalized meditations for people. So we have a session together, and we visit. I bring in the angels, and I bring in their guides, and we put together a meditation that is designed just for you. And so whatever you want to bring in, you want to heal something, you want to help with bringing in some manifestation power, on whatever you're going on in life, and it's powerful. It's wonderful. And then I do, one-on-one coaching, because I love to teach about how you can step into your illuminating body, your Merkaba body, so you can grow and have those synchronicities. It's time for all of us to
Mary,
step
it really is. And like I was sharing, I, like yourself, know that there's something else going on other than what we see. And I know that a lot of people have no idea about that. But I just lost my train of thought, but anyway, it'll come back to me. I just love that. Don't you love that? It just was like blank.
I know it happens to me, Jacqueline, all the time.
What are we just talking about? What did we just say? You're talking about. Anyway, we'll just let that go. It'll come back hopefully.
Yeah,
tonight when I'm sleeping, I'll wake you up.
That's fine. Sounds good. Yes, you can reach me at maryarmendarez.com. You can look me up there. I've got tons of YouTube videos, great tools on my website. It's been great. And just stepping into my own power, creativity is really starting to flow. So everybody step into your power, because we're all here to help one another. We're all here to create.
Learning how to live it, learning how to integrate it and live it. So known the understanding and read, the Wayne Dyer and for a lifetime, but learning to integrate it and actually live it.
That's right.
That's what you need. This is how you do that. And we need to know how.
Yep.
Right? It's not enough to just know anymore, right? We need to know how. And so that's what you're doing. And that's what's so powerful about this information, is that you're not just doing a blah, blah, blah. Here's the course. It's that, okay, here, this is how we do it. Like the visualization that we just did to tap in. I mean, it's so huge. It makes such a difference. Just that, how many minutes did you do? 2 minutes of just taking us within. And there's this big, huge shift that happens. And then all of a sudden, everything, you're finding the parking spot, everything's clicking, you're right into here, there. And it's that's all it does.
That's
right?
it.
It just brings you into,
And the tools are simple. That's what's so beautiful. It doesn't have to be this big woo-woo thing. I make it as simple as possible. The angels teach it so simple that anybody can use these tools to change your life. But you have to choose. I choose, right? I choose to change my reality for the better. It's up to us to step into that power. And some of us just need a little kick in the pants, and here we go, and off you go, man.
And then we don't know it, right? And so just to kind of start, just to do that little thing. And then, okay, well, how did you notice anything, right? Like that kind of thing. And then as soon as you feel that little bit, then you want more of it, because there's nothing better than being in that state of action.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was so great to meet you, Mary. Do you have any books that you're writing? Like what else do you have going on besides YouTube videos and talking and coaching?
So,
what else?
Yes, my first book, I'm going to, hopefully in the next 6 months, it'll be done. It'll be all about affirmations. And then there's going to be a QR code that has the guided meditation that goes with each affirmation. So I'm excited about that. That's my next thing. And then I do beautiful candles. That was one of my things I do. The angels guided me. So these are candles. They're just simple candles, but they're powerful because they have a very powerful affirmation. And then they have this one doesn't have the QR code. They have a QR code on the back that has a meditation that goes with each candle.
I love that. That's amazing. Good for you.
It's super cool. Yeah, see, here it is.
You can get these on your website.
Yeah, this is Rainbow Love. So yes, it's I've been busy. So the book's next, and I got my healing tools and one-on-one sessions and
a little kit that looks like it's got a smudge stick in there.
Yes.
Smudges and oil.
Everything. Oils, essential oils, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's been exciting. And if I could change my life from the abuse I went through, anybody can change their lives. And we just need those little tricks and tools and confidence. And
somebody who's actually got your back, somebody who actually has got no intention for anything else, who doesn't want to compete with you, somebody who is just already in a space of love. And when you're there, lifting other people is a natural thing, right? Yeah. And it's different from our society of the competition, right? Only one wins. There's one win, right? And this new paradigm a paradigm that we've not been taught, that we're teaching, we're sharing.
That's right.
And it's the knowledge. It's so fun. There's so much to know. And it's the whole quantum and the what's going on in the universe and how we are all connected. Yes. We just don't know that information. And once you start to think about it, I think we grew up thinking we're the only people in the whole wide world in the universe, right? We're not.
When one of us suffers, we all suffer. And that's what people don't understand. We all feel it. We're all one. So it's time for all of us to lift out of this judging and fear and into love. Because
as soon as you're judging somebody else, you're holding that. Mm-hmm. So what damage you're doing for them, you're doing more to yourself, because you're the one who's conjuring up those emotions and feelings to be the judge of that. That's right. So just on that note alone, wake up. Right? Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to judge somebody. It doesn't feel good to hold that space inside you of that. So that's where that whole forgiveness, radical forgiveness is a great book.
I gotta read that.
Yeah, have you read it?
No, I'm gonna read that. That's amazing.
Radical forgiveness. My goodness. Yeah. Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Let's catch up down the road, and I'm going to make sure that we have all your information for a write-up for everybody can know how to access your work and yourself. And really great to meet somebody of my tribe.
Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. It's so nice to meet you, and just a big bright light. Keep up the good work, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you. You're the best. Have a good rest of your day, and happy California sunny day.
Thank you.
So I'll enjoy it.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye now.